Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the dryer. Live with it. Alright, so I'm finally getting around to doing the 3D printed radial on this thing and the smoke system. Pull this giant prop off here. So, still rough. It's not actually glued into the cowling yet. I'm just test fitting it. You can see I had to do a lot of clearancing, just like the Bearcat, for the mufflers mostly. And a little bit for this cylinder on this side because it is offset to the front. And I had to shorten the front of this just a hair, which I probably could have had them do. These guys do custom work. They actually made the hole bigger for me, but I should have had them shorten it up about 1/4 of an inch. Anywho, I did ask for it to be a slightly too large. It's maybe an overall diameter 1/8 of an inch too big, so it's close. I just had to grind off some of the valve cover, which you're never going to notice. I mean, those things are way in there. So essentially where I'm at now is I need to kind of like fine tune it, make sure it's all fitting, glue it into place, and then do some paint work. So overall I think it's going to look pretty good back there. This prop's so dang big, kind of hides everything. But anyways, I also got my new wheels from Zeroli. I ended up having to put on the old tires, so I ordered 5.5 inch, and these are 5 inch. And the tire is just, it didn't quite fit. It ended up rubbing on one of the gear door push rods, and it just looked too big. And the interesting thing about Corsairs, and I'm going to be modeling a restored Corsair. If you look at the pictures of most restored Corsairs versus the ones during the war, the restored ones have a little bit smaller tire on them, the same size wheel, but smaller tire. So, I'm making a mess over here. It's 3D printed plastic everywhere. Love the Crocs. So, anyways, it's a really good looking wheel. This is a Corsair specific wheel now. Before it had Mustang wheels on it, so looks really nice. The 5.5s just, they looked a little too fat. They just didn't look right, and they didn't fit. So for now, I'm just going back to these. These are Robart tires, so I can always try something different in the future, but this is a scale Corsair wheel. These are cast aluminum, which they're really nice pieces from Zeroli. I got some scale wheels, and the camera's zoomed out, so it makes them look smaller than they are. I also got P47 wheels. These are the 5.5 inch tires that came off the Corsair wheels, because I got 6 inch tires with the P47 wheels, and technically these were for a P38, but they didn't really have a 6 inch P47 wheel, and the 6 inches looked too big anyways, so I went with a 5.5. This is a 5.5 on the strut. It looks about right. I think the 6 is too big. And this has about the right width too, which looks really nice. So, got a new tail wheel. These were still in stock at Horizon, so I was able to pick one of these up. And I still don't know what happened to the original one. And then, because I can't buy a Robar gear, I went ahead and ordered a set of E-Fly gear. These are out of the 60cc P51. They should be able to handle the gear and the weight just fine, but the flanges are a little too narrow, so I have to make like adapter plates essentially, or modify the mounts in the P47 to fit those. I'm going to make sure they can swing the strut first, but and the strut actually fits into this little clamp just fine. It's perfect actually, so that worked out nice. Still got to do all that obviously. I've been gone for 3 weeks on a work trip, and I'm headed back in a few days, so we're getting ready to do some flying tomorrow. These were the wheels that were on the Corsair. These are P51 wheels. If you're looking for 6 inch Robart tires, hit me up. Okay, so I got my fuel tank plumb for my smoke. This is a little smaller than what I have in the P47, but it should be good enough for a minute or two of smoke, which is all I need. It's not like I'm flying it with the smoke on the entire time anyways, so you just noticed something. It looked wet inside. I was like, what the heck? Alright, so I gotta finalize this, glue it all in, and then I have to block off in between the lower cylinders so the air goes through the top. So to illustrate how this is going to work, baffling wise, because I get a lot of questions, guys, asking how I baffled stuff. So essentially, you see the top cylinders are all empty, as are the lowers currently. Essentially, I'm going to leave this little spot open by the mufflers. I'm going to block off these two lowers. So the air comes in right here, hits these cylinders, comes into the top holes. There's a lot of pressure right here, so it's going to go wherever the least amount of resistance is. It's going to go through these holes, back to the firewall, and then down and out the lower cowl flaps. I will be blocking off the upper section of the cowl. You see my fingers back there? I gotta block off the upper section from the top of the cylinders and up. So it's about this much I gotta block off from the inside. And that's gonna force the air to the back and down and out the bottom. So it'll be coming out this entire, has this whole range of cowl flap to come out of on the bottom. Should work. I mean, if you look at what the Bearcat has, this is all the cooling exit air the Bearcat has. So very similar setup on the Bearcat. It goes into the top, out to the back, down to the back. So some of it comes out here. I kind of oversize these so it'd have a little bit more exit air. But then essentially these are spring loaded, but when it flies they're about like this. So pretty similar exit air. I still got to find a spot to mount the tank. I may end up just mounting it like right here. I realize that's behind the CG, but I mean it's a 40-pound airplane. You're talking 3/4 pound, pretty close to the CG, and I'm adding about a pound to the nose currently with all this going on, plus the pump I'm going to put in the front. So I might just stick it back there to save myself trouble. I was thinking about making a little mount to put it above the gyro and this servo, because that'll fit, and I could put a bigger tank if I wanted to. There's really no room. I guess I could mount on the side. Anyways, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna find a spot for it somewhere, but that's the least of my worries. I'm trying to get this radial all buttoned up here. So anywho, see if I can get to my regular camera. You can kind of see that the wheels look a little better. They are a smidge small, I would say, but the problem is they don't make a 5 1/4. They make a 5 1/2. 5 to 5 1/2. So there's really no in between, which is kind of a bummer. It's close enough for government work, as they say. So let's get this motor buttoned up here. Well, there you have it. It's pretty good. Good from far, far from good. A little zinc chromate in there. We'll get some cool pictures tomorrow with the motor running. But overall, pretty happy with that. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this short and sweet video. As you can see, we're going to be doing some flying tomorrow. I think I'm going to get the X1 down, take that as well. So, smoke system's in. Just, it's kind of quick and dirty. Got the pump velcroed, I got the tank velcroed. Lines are run, and yeah, she's ready to go. I did some airflow testing with my air compressor. I've got the exhaust or the cowl flaps blocked off to about right here, and you can feel a ton of air coming out cowl flap area with it blowing into the upper section, so I'm fairly confident. I also changed the plugs. I put NGK plugs in it. I was running the original DLE plugs this whole time, and they were working okay. They're definitely... I thought this thing was running on the fatter side, but as it turns out, it's pretty much leaned out to where it should be. So I actually fattened it up just a hair, especially the back row. This cylinder was definitely getting leaner than the other ones, so ooh, excuse me. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh boy. And we'll see you tomorrow when we go fly this thing and give it a whirl.